The 90 Day Fiance cast members that have secretly been arrested. Guys, what is up? Max here, the Celeb Talk guy, and there are so many 90 Day Fiance cast members that have been arrested that have never really talked about it on the show. So I finally decided to kind of compile a list and share some of the couples and cast members from the show that have been arrested that I can almost guarantee you had no idea. So let's not waste any time and jump right into this one. And when we can first start off with kind of just an easy softball, cast, and that is Elizabeth's entire family. Now that is probably pretty easy, pretty obvious, so we don't have to talk too much on them. But if you guys don't know, Elizabeth's dad, Chuck, her brother Charlie, and her sister Jen have all been arrested. Elizabeth's sister Jen, her arrest was boring. It was nothing to it. It was just something to do with traffic and whatnot. The brother's arrest, he had two arrests a very long time ago, and they were just partying related to whatnot. And the dad, Chuck, his arrest was related to not paying child support. So the first three kind of somewhat boring, but the next one, I can almost guarantee y'all had no idea, and that is Darcy and Stacey. Yes, oh my God, they have, I believe, both been arrested. And so if you're wondering, well, what did they get arrested for? It sounds like in 2018, Darcy and Stacey were, still living together, and they were starting to kind of go a little bit head to head. They were getting a little bit verbal. One thing led to another, and they kind of got physical, and I don't know how, who, when, how, or where, but it ended up escalating so bad where the police literally got involved, and I believe arrested them, Darcy and Stacey, both. Now, it sounds like there were actually two witnesses, and I can only imagine that has to just be probably Darcy's two kids. I mean, it could maybe be Darcy's parents, but more than likely, we know that Darcy's two daughters are living in that house. And, her dad was living in China. The mom has her own house. So more than likely, it was Darcy's two kids. And it sounds like, these two people witnessed the entire fight. It got pretty intense. And I guess Darcy and Stacey both got arrested. Now, I could be totally off base, but I have pretty close to no recollection of ever hearing that on the show. Maybe Darcy did mention, I don't want to say for sure, so don't quote me on it, but it does kind of seem like she's trying to slide that one under the rug. And now it is so hilarious watching Darcy and Stacey on Darcy and Stacey, the TV show, knowing that they had such an explosive fight one time that they both ended up in jail. Here's another family arrest, and that would be Angela and Angela's daughter. Okay, so number one, Angela. I don't know if y'all knew, but Angela has been arrested. She was going in 2018, I believe. She was going like 65 in a 35. So obviously, she got pulled over. She was going 30 over, and then they ended up saying, oh my God, something doesn't seem right with her, and she got the infamous DU, and guess what? And you know what? They threw her in jail. Now, I'm not going to stand here and act like I'm surprised because, come on, it's Angela. Not very surprising. That sounds like something that would actually happen to Angela, so I'm not shocked. And while we are talking about Angela, we might as well talk about Angela's daughter, who got arrested a few years ago for some pretty unbelievably just horrible stuff. I feel like this is a little bit more common knowledge, but for those of you guys that don't know, Angela's daughter was in a romantic, I don't want to use the word romantic because obviously it was not consensual, but she was in a relationship, I will say, to keep it kind of PG, with a boy. Technically, he was like 15, 16 years old, and she was in her late 20s, maybe even 30s. Obviously wrong, inappropriate, not legal, and so she went to jail for a few years. She was supposed to go for a very long time, but in 2020, surprisingly, she got released. And the same thing with Angela. I'm not going to say I'm surprised, even though it is really horrible and gross and wrong, but it's the same thing. I have no recollection or memory of ever hearing of anyone on the show actually talk about it. So maybe that is just me, but still pretty unbelievable. Now let's move on to kind of an older one, and that is Jihoon. I feel like a lot of you guys know this, but Jihoon has kind of a dark criminal past himself. He was, I believe, transporting illegal electronics, probably stolen electronics around the country and whatnot, and he got in trouble for it. And so he kind of has had that mark on his past for quite a while, and he did open up on the TV show, and I heard him talk about it. Now let's move on to something a little bit more recent, and that is actually with Syngin. Believe it or not, Syngin has gotten arrested in the US. Now I know he's only been in the US for a couple of years, but yes, he has been arrested. And I can almost guarantee you guys that him and Tanya have never, ever talked about this on the show. I don't know if they're trying to kind of keep it quiet or if he's embarrassed or what went down, but he did get arrested in Connecticut for having a little bit of, Mary and Jane, if you know what I'm talking about. And so, yeah, he got arrested. I have never heard him once ever mention it on the show, but we have found public record. It's out there in, I believe, 2019, maybe 2018, but I want to say 2019. He was arrested for the you-know-what. Here's an obvious one. Larissa. She has been arrested not once, not twice, but like several different times, and we all know the first few were related to Colt, and the this, that, and the other, and the fighting with Colt. That is what the majority of her arrests are for. However, about a month or so ago, she was allegedly arrested again. Now, we don't know for sure how true that is. Her friend Carmen came out and she was the one that released that ICE actually did arrest Larissa, but then everyone was kind of backtracking and trying to kind of spot check it, and a lot of people came out and said that the numbers just don't add up, that it doesn't even sound like it was true, and that it might have been a publicity stunt, but keyword might have. So I don't know yes or no if she was arrested that last time. Supposedly she was, but also she might not have been. But still, Larissa, we do know she has been arrested several different times. And then there was a man who was from 90 Day Fiance a few seasons ago, and he was dating and even engaged to a woman named Varia. I am not even going to mention his name because I don't want to give him much credit because I am not the biggest fan. I'm pretty sure y'all know who I am talking about. I bet y'all can guess. And we are just going to roll our eyes and move on to the next person. Oh yeah, Paul. Y'all remember Paul? Paul has been arrested several different times for, a handful of different things. The main thing is he put on fire property that he owned in order to get insurance money. Basically, arson, I think, is the word for it. And yeah, he got in trouble for it. It is illegal. It is wrong. And it was years and years and years ago. And then there was Jorge. Jorge was one of the only people that I can think of, besides kind of Larissa, but one of the only people on 90 Day Fiance to go on the show and then be done with the show and then get arrested. A lot of these people were arrested like in their previous lives, even though I guess Angela and Darcy, they were arrested kind of, in present day too. But the thing with Jorge is he was in jail for a very long time, years and years and years, several years. A lot of these other arrests like Angela and Darcy and Syngin, it was like a couple night thing. It wasn't very long, but Jorge, he was locked up for a very long time. He got caught, driving around, transporting some Mary and some Jane, if you know what I'm talking about. That was like his job. And he was pretty open about it when he was on the show, but he was living in California, and I guess it was just more legal there. And then he was going across state borders. One thing led to another. He got caught, and I couldn't help but completely blame Anfisa. I know that's probably wrong for me to blame her, but still, I just feel like Jorge was doing stuff he shouldn't have been doing because he was trying to afford a lifestyle that he just could not afford because of Anfisa. Now, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe he would have still gotten in trouble. Who knows? Maybe he was doing this stuff, the entire time he was on the show. Who really knows? But still, just kind of always felt like it was kind of Anfisa's fault indirectly, kind of. But he got locked away for a very long time. He apparently learned his lesson and he lost a heck of a lot of weight. And he came out. Now, he's divorced Anfisa, or he's in the process of divorcing Anfisa. And now he's met this new beautiful lady. And last but not least, at least on my list, is Danielle. Now, do you guys remember, this was on the show and it later came out on social media and online, but Danielle kind of ran into some trouble with the law because she actually got caught using other people's credit cards to buy stuff. And so she had to go, I believe she got arrested for a very small time, but she got, probation, and she had fines, and she had this and that. she had a lot of issues with it, and it did come up on the show very, vaguely. But Danielle, she ran into some issues with the law, and at first glance of Danielle, you would probably never guess it. But once we really got to see Danielle, to be honest, you guys, I was not very shocked. Well, guys, those are the couples or the cast from 90 Day Fiancé that have kind of somewhat sort of secretly been arrested that I personally have never heard about. Now, put in the comments below who you guys were the most surprised by. Me personally, I was pretty surprised by Syngin. Honestly, Syngin took me by surprise because I knew he kind of has a reckless side, but still, I feel like they kept it so low-key on the show, we never really heard anything. And then Darcy and Stacey, that is pretty surprising too, because it's like, they were the ones that got into a fight with each other, and now they're such good friends that they have their own TV show together. It just seems a little bit weird, a little bizarre. The one thing I will say about Darcy and Stacey is it sounds like Darcy was kind of instigating the fight. And we all do know that Darcy at that time in like 2017, 2018, she was really going through it on the show with Jesse. I think she really had a very big you-know-what problem. She was drinking all the time. And so not like that's an excuse at all. I'm just saying it really did seem like Darcy, she was kind of going through it. So yeah, Darcy, Syngin, and then you could probably even throw in Danielle. Danielle was pretty shocking to me too. And honestly, even Angela, I'm not surprised. I'm not shocked, I guess you could say. I'm not shocked because that definitely seems to be Angela's nature, something she would definitely do, but it's just kind of weird that I personally have not heard a whole lot about that arrest. So guys, 90 Day Fiancé, the castmates that have been arrested, make sure to please put in the comments below what you guys think, who you were the most surprised by, and of course, if I missed anyone else. And if you do like these kind of videos and you want to see more of the research of the old castmates, please feel free to let me know. Honestly, I hate to say it, but I love the old castmates more than some of the new ones, because some of the new ones, like Brittany and Yazin and people like that, they just seem so fake. It's like I just don't really enjoy them. But the old ones, like the Nicole and Azin and, Danielle and all those kind of people, they're just kind of funny. They're OG, they're originals. I think they're hilarious. So if you do want more old videos on the old, castmates and whatnot, please, please, please feel free to put in the comments below. And just another heads up, I am still planning on doing the coffee chats with Max. I think it might possibly be a separate YouTube channel. I'm not sure how or when or where I'm going to do this, but what I would love to do is longer videos. I know a lot of the other people like Sherelle's World, John Yates, and Up and Adam, and all these people, and even kind of Your Wet Sock, I think. They do interactive videos. I think it'd be fun to try out a couple of them. I get so many messages from you guys that want to come on the channel, and so I would like to do somewhat, I named it the Coffee Chat with Max. I don't know why. I just thought the name was kind of catchy because I love coffee. So if y'all would ever want something like that, I am planning on doing it. I just wanted to give you guys a heads up, and I am unsure about what night. I don't want to do it on probably Sunday because, hey, 90 Day Fiancé is usually on Sunday. So maybe Saturday, or maybe just kind of a boring day throughout the week. Like typically, Thursday is usually pretty boring, and then Wednesday can kind of be somewhat boring, even though Married at First Sight is on right now on Wednesday. But we do, I believe the season finale is coming pretty soon. So maybe Wednesday, maybe Thursday, and maybe possibly Saturday. So if any of those days work good for y'all, feel free to comment below, let me know, and we can start kind of getting something going. But I kind of mentioned it a couple videos ago, and it seemed like surprisingly a lot of people actually were asking for it. So this would be longer videos where y'all could call in, come on the channel, we could talk, have a good time, crack some jokes, drink a little bit of coffee or whatever your drink is of choice, and just have a grand old time. So yeah, I'm thinking maybe, I don't even know, Thursday'd be great for me because I don't do jack crap on Thursday. So maybe Thursday, maybe Saturday, maybe possibly Wednesday, but I am kind of liking Thursday. So either way, put in the comments below what y'all would like, what day works best for y'all, and we can try to set something up. Well guys, Thank y'all so much for watching. It means the world to me. Make sure if you did enjoy this video to press the like button. Please, please, please press the follow or subscribe button to follow and subscribe to this channel. And also make sure to comment below your thoughts. Well, thanks so much for watching and stay tuned for many more videos.